The following story is a submitted narrative. Some details may be adapted or dramatized to protect privacy and enhance storytelling. This is not a verified factual report. It is a human emotional journey. My name isn't important, but what I felt might be familiar to you. I met him when I was 24. He was charming in that quiet, confident way that makes you feel safe without even knowing why. He studied me, paid attention to my smallest details, remembered things no one else ever did. He didn't just walk into my life, he learned it, memorized it, made himself part of it. For years, he was everything, my partner, my trusted friend. My future husband, as he liked to say. We built routines, we shared passwords. We took pictures that looked like happiness, and every time I doubted something. He was so gentle, so convincing, so calm, that I felt guilty for even questioning him. He made suspicion feel like betrayal and loyalty feel like love. But love wasn't what I was living. It started small, a shift, a distance. Tiny changes only someone deeply connected would notice. He began taking more work calls, more late nights, more I'm exhausted kisses on the cheek instead of real affection. He wasn't colder. He was careful, measured, almost rehearsed in the way he existed near me. And then came the phone call. It rang while he was in the shower. A strange number. At first, I hesitated. But something inside me whispered, "Answer." So I did. A woman's voice, soft, calm, familiar. In a way that hurt instantly. She asked, "Is he with you?" My heart stopped. I didn't know her name, but she knew his. And she knew us. Because just like me, she believed she was the only woman in his life. It started small, a shift, a distance. Tiny changes only someone deeply connected would notice. He began taking more work calls, more late nights, more I'm exhausted kisses on the cheek instead of real affection. He wasn't colder. He was careful, measured, almost rehearsed in the way he existed near me. And then came the phone call. It rang while he was in the shower. A strange number. At first, I hesitated. But something inside me whispered, "Answer." So I did. A woman's voice, soft, calm, familiar. In a way that hurt instantly. She asked, "Is he with you?" My heart stopped. I didn't know her name, but she knew his. And she knew us. Because just like me, she believed she was the only woman in his life. For 3 years, he had been living a double life. 2 homes, 2 relationships, 2 futures he promised. As if loyalty was a performance he could duplicate. We spoke for 42 minutes, to strangers. Grieving the same man who was still alive. She told me things only someone deeply loved would know. Details of his favorite breakfast. Little fears he confessed, jokes he reused. Words he repeated to both of us, as if affection were a recycled script. And when he stepped out of the shower, I was standing there. Silent, destroyed, but no longer blind. He denied it. Of course he did. Then deflected, then blamed me, then cried. He performed every stage of guilt in front of me. Not because he regretted what he did, but because he regretted losing control. That's when I finally understood something painful, but necessary. Some people don't cheat because they are unhappy. They cheat because they are empty, because power feels better to them than love, because deception makes them feel important. And we, the ones who love honestly, become the stage where they perform their lies. I walked away. Not dramatically, not screaming, not begging for closure. Just quiet. Because sometimes the loudest thing you can say is nothing. Sometimes the strongest revenge is living a life that no longer includes someone who fed on your trust. It hurt. It broke me. It hollowed everything I believed about connection. But pain isn't always destruction. Sometimes it's evolution. Today, I'm not the woman who was betrayed. I am the woman who finally woke up. And if you're listening and you feel that something isn't right, don't silence yourself to protect someone else's lies. Trust your discomfort. It knows the truth before you do. When she opened that phone, she didn't find a mistake. She found a double life. Messages, emotional intimacy, plans, promises. He wasn't drifting away from her. He had already left. He was building another life with another woman while celebrating Christmas in hers. He didn't accidentally cheat. He engineered betrayal. The room was full of laughter while her chest filled with silence. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She walked into the living room, looked straight at him, and handed him his phone in front of everyone. Your other Christmas is calling. Maybe you should be with them. Not pretending to be a husband here. The room froze. Air vanished. He stood exposed. And instead of fighting for his marriage, he walked out of the house on Christmas Eve, leaving his wife, leaving his family, leaving his life for another woman. He called it freedom. He called it choosing happiness. He called it finally doing something for himself. He mocked her stability. He made fun of boring life. He bragged. He wasn't ashamed. He was proud. Until pride met reality. The other woman wasn't love. She was leverage. She wanted his security, his money, his attention, his resources. And he gave everything. He cut people out. He burned his reputation. He destroyed respect. And slowly, she took everything. Money, savings, possessions, confidence, dignity, until there was nothing left. And when he became useless to her, she left. Cold, clean, cruel. He was alone. Broke, ashamed, exposed, discarded. And that's when the realization hit him like a brick. He didn't choose happiness. He chose selfishness. And selfishness always comes with a bill. So he crawled back. Not out of love, not remorse. Out of need. He came back to the woman he shattered because he thought she'd still be there. He thought loyal hearts wait forever. He thought wounded women always want closure. He thought love makes people foolish. He was wrong. He didn't find a broken woman. He found strength. He found peace. He found someone who healed, gained clarity, and no longer needed him. She wasn't angry. She wasn't bitter. She wasn't seeking revenge. She had outgrown him. And standing beside her was someone new, a man who valued her, a man who didn't need to destroy others to feel powerful, a man who didn't run when things were hard. He begged. He cried. He promised. He swore he'd changed. But here is the truth. He didn't miss her. He missed what she gave him. Security, worth, identity, home. He didn't lose his wife. He lost access to a woman he never deserved. And when she finally spoke, there was no screaming, no revenge speech, no dramatic breakdown, just truth. You didn't just betray me. You betrayed everything I built for you. And now you live with the life you chose. And he will, for the rest of his life. Because betrayal doesn't always end with drama. Sometimes it ends with silence. A silence louder than any revenge. Betrayal doesn't always end in heartbreak. Sometimes it ends in clarity. Sometimes the worst night of your life becomes the doorway to something better. He thought he broke her, but all he did was set her free. And that is what exists beyond the affair. If this story resonated with you, if betrayal ever touched your life, if you've ever rebuilt yourself after someone tried to destroy you, subscribe. More stories like this are coming. Stories of truth, stories of pain, stories of resilience, stories of justice, emotional, human, silent, powerful. Because here, we don't just talk about betrayal, we reclaim power from it. Subscribe to Beyond the Affair. And remember, sometimes losing them is what saves you.